Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Open Hearts, your end of the week tabletop RPG campaign. Tonight is episode 91. We have officially crossed into the countdown from 10 until we reach episode 100, which is very exciting because, good lord, this campaign has been going on for so fucking long. But tonight we will be continuing where we left off. If everybody remembers, you had just had a brief meeting with Honlan in the business sector of this planet that you are on, called opens book. I can't remember. I wrote it down somewhere. Y'all vaguely remember what fucking planet we're on. It's the one with the nuclear power plant, and you guys collected the debt, and Tagok fired guns.
Yeah, Tagok.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to shoot guns together.
Shooting guns together.
Most
So
normal
bug.
bonding activity.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you gonna do, man? But
expect us to be normal about weapons.
Yeah, no, totally. So currently, Huanlan has just told you that his father is gonna get on the Zoom call TM in a few minutes, and that, you know, be prepared. The Zoom call.
I just got that. I'm sorry.
The Zoom call TM.
Not the Zoom call.
Yeah. Space Zoom.
I have to be fucking respectful of him.
Yeah, you can't.
Disgusting.
You can't be snippy and mean, unfortunately, even though you will definitely want to be, because he. Oh God, he
fucking deserves it.
Yeah.
I command you to kill yourself.
The power word kill.
I'm so excited to just kill him.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
But you're gonna get a very good gauge of the kind of person he is from this interaction. Yeah, you already know that he's bad, but you're gonna get more.
Spark's just like, have you ever considered not being a bigot?
Have you ever considered changing everything about you?
Yeah. Have you ever considered not being the way that you are? Perhaps a little
Have you
bit.
considered looking in a mirror and then crying?
I don't think this man is capable of tears.
Okay, I'm just imagining.
Challenge
Tagok.
accepted. I will make him capable of tears.
I'm just imagining Tagok and Spark in like really fancy suits and going, Mr. Alistair, have you ever considered
Looking at him.
changing your entire personality?
Have you ever considered jumping off of a cliff?
God.
Sorry.
You guys are fucking menaces.
We haven't
Yay!
had 2 weeks.
I know. The children
Tagok
are
is always a
fucking
menace when it comes to
deprived.
murder.
The children are deprived.
I'm
Alright.
like, have you ever thought about jumping off a cliff into the fucking cliff that fell away?
Oh God. So Juan is kind of giving you a debrief of he is going to set up the camera so that his father will only be able to see him, but the rest of you will be able to see Alistair and hear him. So, like, the webcam will be pointed at him, and as long as you guys sort of remain somewhat quiet, Alistair's not going to attempt to interact with you, which is probably for the best.
Yeah.
And to just sort of listen and observe. and try not to get too angry. And Tagok, you have a feeling that he like glances at you, but you can't exactly tell.
Take the fun out of everything.
It's just like, yeah, I know you want to yell at him, but like it's not gonna be productive.
Mm-hmm. No
So
worries, I get it. I get it.
so Venus is basically just waiting until she gets the like I am just like ready to join the call, sends you link. You know, send the meeting link TM. And previously Alistair had taken his mask off in the presence of you guys, like after the businessmen had left. But anticipating his father's call, he puts the mask back on.
Damn.
Yeah. Cry. Sob. But
Rip.
Poor Juan.
Poor one, man. I'm gonna beat Alistair's ass.
you and everybody else. There's a get in line.
There's a queue.
Line's like 2 miles long.
Yeah. If he got murdered, the fucking investigators would be like, now, do you know anybody who could possibly want to kill Alistair? The person they're asking just fucking laughs and says, there is a fucking queue of people who want to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And then investigator writes down, suspect list has not been narrowed.
That's insane.
So, while y'all have a little bit to talk if you want while you're waiting, just like a minute or so. I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to sort of get into some role playing before we get into the bitch.
The lore drop.
The bitch of the session.
Do you guys think the witch is talking to us, but we just can't hear it?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Do you think the wind is talking to us, but we just can't hear it?
Kalina just looks at Spark.
I wish you would
Okay,
stop
as-
saying odd shit.
As a Stormhawk, would I actually know this?
Oh my god!
So, as a Stormhawk, Rhiannon actually talks to you through the wind. That is how he, like, speaks to you when you are away, is he talks to you through the wind and the storms. So occasionally you'll just hear shit from him. Usually nothing
Yes,
particularly important.
I will say to Spark saying, yes, but not to you.
They're offended.
They have the biggest, wettest eyes. They look
Oh,
over
dear.
at you so hard.
I'm sorry, it's a Stormhawk thing. Rhiannon is, Rhiannon, right?
Yeah, Rhiannon.
What's her name?
Yes.
Rhiannon is, he talks to us through the wind.
I mean, you answered my question though. I can't really be mad.
Cannot be anger. The question was answered.
I want to know the reaction, the faces that everybody had when I said yes.
I imagine that Kalina does like a fucking double take, like, what?
Yes, like,
Huh?
yeah, she just says, pardon?
Anastasius just, he has, his eyes and, or his nose pinched like this, just, and I have not had enough caffeine or time awake to deal with that answer, let alone that question. He doesn't say anything. You just, it is too early in the morning. Or this tiger was real wilderness.
It's not even morning, bitch.
Kalina just says, Anastasius, it's not the morning, it's
this concept of time is different. It's a new planet, okay?
Listen, man, my internal
Leave the
clock's
poor
all
man
fucked up.
be.
His internal clock
Oh,
is a little
not even
fucked.
that. Anastasius just says, "Oh, trust me. There's just so much caffeine that it is required for so much silliness."
Anastasius is the type of motherfucker that needs to do like a coffee enema. Like those crazy women on TikTok are doing.
That's insane.
Don't ask about it. I've been subjected to too fucking much seeing things on the internet.
You know what? I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Not gonna. That is something I do not
Don't
need.
do that, by the way. Please. PSA, don't do a coffee enema. That's not good for you.
It literally sounds awful.
Yeah. Butt chugging fucking coffee, man. Ridiculous. But, yeah.
Oh, I forgot what that was, and I looked it up, and my search engine was
Oh,
like, "You
God.
have safe search on, buddy."
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Denied.
Welcome to Open Hearts, everyone.
I'm so sorry.
I'm happy that it didn't let me see it. Now that I remember what it is.
Oh god. So
Yeah. That's reminder, never look up anything we say here.
yeah,
Yeah, just never look up anything ever.
PSA.
I should know that. I should have known that.
PSA, nothing I say is safe for work. Just as a ground rule, if you don't know what I'm fucking saying, chances are it's probably some fuck shit. That is a
Yeah.
good ground rule to you know, base on.
Yeah.
But
Again, just don't look up anything ever.
yeah.
Problem solved.
No need to expand your horizons, no need to expand your knowledge, just remain ignorant
Nope.
for the sake of your mental health.
In this economy,
Yeah.
That just reminds me how my mom looks up things. She doesn't use Google. She uses YouTube.
Huh? Girl?
Yeah,
What?
I talked to her about it, and she says, "But it's on there. It's information. It has to it's YouTube. The whole point of YouTube is entertainment. That's something she doesn't get. It's entertainment. If you need to look up
Poor
information,
mother.
use Google." And I told her, just because I get information from YouTube doesn't mean that every YouTube channel is good. The ones I go to are SciShow.
Oh, your poor mother is
Sideshow.
being fed misinformation.
Yeah.
I guess this is a PSA. Don't get all of your world information from YouTube? Question mark?
yeah, it's. I will say, like,
This
YouTube is
is-
good for certain things.
Yeah.
Like, if you need to quick learn how to do something, I think it's pretty good, because that's
Tutorials
what
is
I
good.
use to figure out how to replace the bulb in my headlight. But,
It's
like,
just for tutorials, but not.
yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's
Please-
the internet. Take everything with a grain of salt.
Use
Multiple
critical
grains.
thinking, please. Use
Take the
critical
whole
thinking.
shaker.
Yeah.
The
I-
whole shaker.
Use critical thinking when interacting with anything on the internet, please, for the love of God. Anyways,
Sorry, that was my bad.
it's all good. You hear a little ping on Venus's tablet, and she looks and she says, "All right, showtime." And then she like sends the link basically to Juan on the laptop for him to open it there. And he like sighs, just and then clicks the fucking link. And it's on this big screen like, projector screen that you guys are seeing that's broadcasting his laptop screen, more or less. And you see the Duke Alistair in all his very grumpy glory. And of course I did last week send the little thing replying to it now so you guys can see it again in campaign art. But he looks to be sitting in a very, like, finely decorated office. And, he's sitting with this very stone-cold expression on his face. Almost looking down at everybody. Just because of the way his camera is set up. It's, like, from below him. So it looks like he's looking down on all of you.
Gross fucking compensating.
Yeah, on
He's
God.
the most
Bet he did that.
insecure little wet boy I've ever seen.
This is a billions of year old man you're looking at right now.
He's a little piss baby.
You're killing me, Jade. You're killing me. In a good way, girl.
Good. Just like I'm gonna kill him. I show no mercy to bigots.
Christ almighty. So Alistair, the first thing he does is he kind of like leans back in his chair and he's like, all right, no need for small talk. How are things with that damn plant? And you see him pick up a glass of what you can assume is like whiskey with like ice. Like a glass of whiskey. Juan says everything went swimmingly well, Father. A payment plan has been set up with Mr. Osgood to pay off all of his debt, and we have a written contract, and he holds up the copy of the contract that you guys were given, the little mercenaries. And that should hopefully take care of the problem. Alistair is just kind of like not even looking at the screen, just sort of like staring off into the distance while like sipping his whiskey. And you see him sort of like raise his eyebrows, like, huh. And he puts down the glass and you can like hear it clunk, clunk. And he says, well, that's surprising. I expected more of a fight. And Juan says, expecting or hoping? Alistair just kind of like laughs a little bit. His laugh gives you the creeps. I don't think I can replicate the kind of laugh he does, but it gives you like an uneasy feeling.
The vibes.
It's like it's like, ooh, ow, yikes.
Yeah.
And he says, yes, you know I love a good bloodbath. And Juan just sort of like hums at that. And Alistair says, well, since that was so easily resolved, I guess I can talk about the next thing I need of you. And you see him like sort of reach over and you hear the keyboard sort of clacking on his end. And he says, I'm sending Venus the file on this so that you can take a better look, but I have another debt for you to collect, and this time it is not about the matter of money. And Juan, you can see that, like, he's a little confused, possibly concerned about this, and he's like, "Oh, please do elaborate, Father." And Alistair actually, like, leans in, and he sort of props his chin up on his, like, hands as he laces them together, and he says, "Now, I'm sure that you know about Mr. Siluria?" And he sort of he squints his eyes and does this sort of, like, smile. Just like, Mr. Siluria is not a name that he says in, like, good nature.
Oh.
Ew.
And, Juan, you see that Juan sort of, like, shifts a little uneasily at the mention of the name. And he says, "Yes, I do remember Mr. Siluria." Alistair clasps his hands together and, like, he's got this, like, smile on his face that just is, like, oozing with hidden rage.
Oh.
Like, you can tell that he is mad about something, like, just angry.
Oh boy.
Even thinking about Siluria. Also, what happened to Caleb?
I don't know.
Caleb.
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 Yeah, turn that shit itself for a second. I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay.
We love you. I
We're
will
in a
cry.
tense moment, man.
We're learning about a fucking guy. So Alistair says, "Well, it would seem that Mr. Siluria has put out a public statement, which I have of course sent in the file, if you would take a look." Juan pulls it up, like, on his screen so that you guys can see the, like, written statement that's Mr. Hassan Siluria has made. And in this public statement, he says that he feels no remorse for any of the money that he has scammed Starline for. He will not be giving it back, and that he would rather die before ever forking over the money to that bureaucratic bastard Alistair.
King. King
Get it,
shit.
King shit.
That's
probably what we're gonna have to take care of, but
yeah.
ooh,
We can fake his death.
that'd
True.
be fun.
But, Alistair continues and says, "That's a pretty bold statement he made, isn't it? I intend to hold him to it. And that's where you come in. I know that you have your personal grievances with Mr. Siluria, so I thought I'd allow you the opportunity to carry out the assassination. Doesn't that sound fun?" You see that, Juan sort of, like, you know, squeezes his fist a little bit. And, he's just like, "Thank you, Father. It would be an honor." But it's, like, very forced.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Alistair doesn't seem to pick up on this. Maybe it's because most of the things that Juan says to him are forced. But, Alistair just sort of, like, claps his hands together. Just like, that's wonderful. In the file that I sent you, I have of course given you the whereabouts of Mr. Siluria. We have found that he is on the filthy planet of Von B86. Those of you who are looking at Juan see him sort of like shift uneasily again after the mention of the planet name. And, Alistair says, well, that is all that I have for you at the moment. Your mother said that she would call you at some point. I don't know when she will have the time, but anticipate her call. It would break your heart if you didn't pick up. It would break her heart. Yeah. It would break her heart if you didn't pick up. And he's just sort of like not paying attention to the screen, not even looking, just like doing other shit. And he's like, well, I'm quite busy, so I will call you again if I need anything. Goodbye. And then like hangs up without letting Juan even say anything. So, after that, like, Juan just kind of, like, leans back, and he's like, oh. And he takes his mask off again and, like, rubs his face.
Lovely.
Now could be an opportunity to sort of ask some questions about what the fuck was that? TM.
Can Spark just walk over to Juan and just be like, would you like a hug?
Juan just sort of sighs and, like, puts his arm out to allow you to, like, hug him from the side of his chair.
Aw.
Emotional support clown, guys.
Emotional
Emotional
support
support
clown.
clown.
The emotional support clown.
That's what the escape button is for on your computer. It sends an emotional support clown to your location.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
Intestine
welcome,
is not
everyone.
working.
It's not fucking working!
It's not
It's
working.
not working.
The clown needs to get there first. It's not instantaneous. One day you'll hear a set of clown shoes approaching you.
Oh goodness. So yeah. Juan has been instructed to assassinate somebody for his father.
Lovely.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
What do we make of that? Y'all have any questions about that? You can totally ask him.
Yeah, who the fuck is this Siluria guy? Why is he upset about the planet? Why does Alistair think that our guy has an issue with him?
Kalina,
A lot of information
she,
we don't know.
What?
A lot of
Yeah,
information.
there's a lot of information we don't know. That's all I said.
Yeah, Kalina, she, like, as the call disconnected, you could almost kind of see her, like, relax. Like, she was very stiff earlier. And she just says, well, that man certainly is something, isn't he?
Venus just goes, yeah, you got that right. Something of a bitch ass motherfucker. She sort of
I kinda
mumbles.
agree with this Mr. Valuria guy, though. Maybe we could just, like, fake his death?
I wonder if that statement that he said was true.
Oh, that might be true. Yeah, you have a point, Colbert.
Yeah.
I do not trust anything what Alistair says, so I think
time.
We need to verify that claim.
Venus sort of like has that the awkward smile, the awkward white people smile, and is like glancing back and forth, and she's like, well, here's the thing. The money isn't the only thing that Siluria has done. And once you guys hear about this, you might change your mind.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
She glances at Juan, and Juan just sort of like nods at her. It's like, you do it. I don't want to fucking say anything, man. Siluria's like, okay, so a little bit of context is required about the planet that Mr. Siluria is on currently. It is a very polarizing planet, to say the least. Half of the planet is devoted to temples and worship, and the other half is devoted to quite the opposite. Lots of debauchery, if you will. And
Oh.
Can Spark raise their hand and ask what debauchery is?
Anastasia quickly responds, nothing you want to know about.
yeah.
I feel like it's kind of important for me to know this time, Mr. Squidman.
Elena like just looks at Anastasia, just like Anastasia, they're not a child.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kalina.
Venus just kind of like rubs her face, and she's like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to be real vulgar with this, aren't I? Let's just say it right out in the fucking open. It's more or less a like sex based thing. Like, not
Oh.
good. There are strip clubs and brothels and, well, let's just say a lot of the entertainers there are not exactly there under their own free will most of the time.
Oh.
About to say go off Queens, but I'm retracting that statement.
Yes, please. repeat.
Yes. Even the ones who are there of their own will are more or less forced into the position to stave off poverty. So
Okay, yeah, we should kill this guy.
he all that money that he took from Starline, he more or less put into the trafficking ring.
Oh.
And she looks at Han and like she makes a face. She's like, should I continue? And Juan just says, yes, you can tell them. Okay, so the reason that Hanlan has personal grievances is because of some previously, before the stealing of the money, Juan was unfortunately tied up in some business with Mr. Siluria, being forced by his father. I will not get into the details. I don't think anybody needs to know that, but just know that it is not good. Venus says, so even though the stealing the money from Starline is not that really bad. I mean, I couldn't give less of a shit. What it was put towards and what this man has done and is doing currently is what we really should be taking him out for. Even if it is under the guise of, you know, paying back his, And then she looks at her tablet. 1.3 billion credit debt.
Oh,
Damn.
1.3 billion
Yeah.
with a
Fran,
with a
how many
B.
numbers
Yeah,
is that?
billion, baby. So Venus actually goes on to explain to you how he was able to get all this money. He forged some documents to make himself appear as a corporate like Starline engineer, like a maintenance engineer, and scammed like the plants of different planets out of all this money. So a combined 1.3 billion credits across multiple planets.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's fucked. Because like, what are those plants for like not having a great time?
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Me and homie got beef now.
Yeah, so he, even though, you know, stealing money from Alistair is kind of a W, he really fucked over, like, actual, like, entire planets by doing this, and then
Yeah,
feeding
we're
that
gonna
money
kill him.
into a absolutely horrific, sex trafficking ring.
Yeah, we're gonna take care of this bastard.
We're gonna
Yeah.
take care of this.
Mm-hmm.
He's okay. Everyone, gather round, get your knife, and we'll go in a merry-go-round. Yes. One turn at a time.
Does Tagok actually say, okay, that's just Jade, never mind.
No, she's
I
not
can
saying
tell by
it, but
I
like,
can tell by the tone.
yeah, it's like,
It's like, nope, that's Jade.
okay. Anastasia's you go, then Caleb, then Finn, then just one. Okay, your turn, your turn, your turn, and we just keep stabbing around and around and around. Like Caesar.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's insane.
Gotta
Insane.
make
The law
Caesar
is-
salad out of this boy.
Salad, man. Salad, baby. Let's go. So Juan does tell you guys that you will be staying the evening here on the planet. Just because he has some other, like, various small business things to attend to here. But, they have more or less, like, a penthouse that has been rented out that you guys will be able to stay in one of the high reses. So
Yeah.
y'all can just sort of hang out for the rest of the evening and plan and deliberate and shit.
All right.
Maybe.
Kalina right away is just going to ask, could you send over any, no, all information about this man? Want to nail him to the wall.
Are you asking
And
Venus
how
or
is that
Juan
gonna work?
specifically?
Venus.
Okay.
Oh yeah. that's
Venus
exactly
nods and she's like, okay, I got you. Don't worry. I'll send it to everybody.
it. How is this gonna work? Is it just gonna be the mercenaries, or is it gonna be all of us? I'm fine with either one.
Well, like, she's with you in the penthouse right now. Y'all are just chilling in this nice ass fucking penthouse, and she's like, okay,
We're on
so
the planet now?
yeah,
Never-
you're still on the planet, but in like the same business sector.
Oh, sorry. I
In the
thought
high
we were talking
reses?
about- I thought we were talking about like the planet in
No,
the one that we need to go to. Okay.
no, you are not there yet. You are still
Okay.
on
I was just like, wait a minute. When did we make this jump?
you're still on Belvon.
Imagine if we were.
Okay.
You're still on Belvon, and
Okay.
you're just like chilling in the penthouse now that, like, you know, Juan has some other business to attend to for the evening, and there's nothing really else that you guys can do outside right now, like, mission-wise. So he just, like, gave y'all some key cards and was like, you can go chill if you want. But, what was the question? Sorry, we got distracted by the confusion of where we were.
What's the lineup? Is it just the mercenaries or is it everybody?
Venus says, well, that's interesting because, Juan himself wants to actually do it.
Oh, hell yeah.
He
Go off, King.
is going to be the one to, kill Hassan Saluria. And we will need your help, more or less as, like, keeping an eye on things around the area so that Juan doesn't get outnumbered by anybody coming in before the deed is done.
Of course.
Okey-dokey.
It's a good thing I got combat dice.
I'm going to murder.
She's going to murder.
Yeah.
Venus tells you that once you guys get to the planet Vaughn B86, that you guys will need to be extremely careful and stick together in groups for the most part, because if anyone is alone at any time and is seen as, like, kind of an easy target, you guys could be grabbed and taken.
Oh boy.
I think we should leave Freya here, then.
Freya's like, yeah, I don't like the sound of that. I don't really know what any of that means, but it sounds scary.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just think it's the best idea to leave you here for now.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with that. And they give a little thumbs up.
Oh.
I'm gonna give Freya a fucking high five.
High five. Little hands. Little baby hands. And, Venus tells you that she is going to go, down to, like, the room service kiosk thing and order, like, a bunch of food for everybody, because, it's getting about that time to eat. And she's like, does anybody have any requests?
500 cigarettes.
No! She
No.
points at you.
One day I'm gonna get it,
No, you won't.
Not today.
and I'm gonna eat them.
Don't. They're bad for you.
So is my totally normal alcohol intake.
You're a child.
I was thinking of
Hoth.
alcohol intake in Venus.
Venus is just so tired. Cry. But,
Fucking signed up for
I'm
this.
guessing you guys, like, if you guys want any specific kind of food, she'll, write it down and then order it.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, an hour-ish later, maybe 45 minutes, like, there's a knock at the door, and Venus goes and opens it, and there's, like, a bunch of, butlers, basically, that come in with, like, these wheel trays with a lot of food for all of you guys.
Oh boy.
Food time.
Food time. Kalina's probably hunched over a bunch of notes and stuff that she's drafted up about, like, information about this guy and what he does, any possible inside knowledge, anything that she's been able to scrape up from both
Yeah.
the files that were given and, like, searching online
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. She's being thorough.
Yeah. While you're doing your
Probably has, like, this whole
research.
table, like,
Yeah.
like, set out that just a bunch of different notes.
Kane is trying to make sure you eat. He's like got a plate and is like, fucking
Oh.
take the strawberry. Take it.
And she's just like, alright, thank you.
Yeah, he's just like giving you fucking like finger food, like passing it over to you and you eat it. He's making sure you eat. But can you please roll an investigation check for me, Kalina, to see how
Yes,
much
I
you
can.
learn?
Yes,
First
I
roll of the
can.
night.
I forgot to break out my dice. Hold on.
She needs a second.
I've been excited. I'm just like, yes, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna vibrate and I'm gonna be happy because we're doing D&D because we haven't done it in 2 weeks. I did that all in one breath.
Don't pass out, girl.
It's fine. It's fine.
Is it?
Alright, no. Probably.
Probably.
Just keep swimming. Fuck yeah. Total of 23. Wait, hold on. Wait, investigation? No,
Yes.
24.
24.
I was looking at the 4, but it's really a +5.
Oh boy. So girl goes crazy. So you're in the zone, and with the help of Kane making sure your blood sugar doesn't drop, you are able to really get into the nitty-gritty of things. And you find out that Hassan Saluria is a man who's about 300 years old. He's one of the races that lives a little bit longer, so he's about middle-aged for his species. And he was born on Vaughn.
Oh. Okay, that's interesting.
It is he has like a somewhat like Wikipedia-esque article about him and his life, and Spacepedia, and it is noted in that article that his father is unknown and that his mother was an unknown escort who died giving birth to him.
Oh, damn.
He was
Daddy issues.
Yeah, he was not given to an orphanage, and he was raised by the co-workers of his mother, the other escorts in that brothel.
Okay.
And a lot of his early life, like the stuff about his early life in the article is very vague. It said that he was in and out of like juvenile detention and jail once he became older for like the first 50 years of his life, more or less. And then some point around the 100-year mark, everything kind of like switched. Something happened, and he quote flipped his life around and became a successful businessman as he took over the brothel that his mother had worked at. He became the new owner, and
What happened to the previous one?
died of old age. Supposedly. Supposedly natural causes. But he has been running that brothel, and subsequently 30 other brothels that he like more or less has monopolized an area of the planet. And he preaches about taking care of, quote, his girls and making sure that they are treated the best as they possibly can be in their profession. But people really don't believe that, because even though the escorts say that yes, they are treated well, they don't know how much of it is truth and how much of it is a rehearsed response. So, in his article, it says that he, very heavy air quotes, is a philanthropist and gives money to charity. Listed as multiple
Sounds like money
unnamed
laundering.
charities.
Sounds like money laundering to me.
Yeah, and at the very end of the article, it says that most recently, Mr. Hassam Saluria has made a public statement from his official verified social media confessing to the crime of scamming Starline Nuclear out of 1.3 billion credits and refusing to return any of the money, stating that he would, quote, rather die. And then they like give a link to the actual tweet.
Yeah.
And you can like look at the tweet and see that like it has so many like likes and shit and like comments. People are just like, whoa, what the fuck? He actually did it.
Has it
But
been ratioed?
jury's out. Jury's out on that.
Sorry. I didn't mean to catch you off guard, but I had to do it.
Try to figure out what constitutes as a ratio.
So, a ratio is when there's a high amount of comments and a low lot of likes, which means a lot of people didn't like the take.
Yeah. He's kind of been ratioed. Lots of comments, less likes than there are comments. Let's just say that.
Okay, yeah, so
A lot of
this bitch has been ratioed.
Yeah, he's been ratioed. But it's mostly like other popular accounts being like, whoa, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
And some people being like, I fucking knew he was sketchy. Goddamn, I called it. Yeah. So there's like at least a couple 100,000 comments on just this tweet. And it was made, as you can see, a week ago.
Oh boy.
So this is very recent. And
Girl made a capital M mistake.
capital M mistake. Wondering what Caleb's writing.
Oh boy.
I await his response.
Oh boy.
But I can hear his typing.
Oh my god.
I can hear him. Tickety 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 tickety. So other than that, you sort of find like some he doesn't really have many other social medias. He has a Twitter and that's about it. And really the only thing on his space Twitter is him anytime that he is taking over or opening a new establishment, he makes an announcement about it. There are not very many pictures of him.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, just taking note of
No, you're good. It's okay.
what Caleb sent. But yeah, there are not any pictures of him. Even his profile picture is not his face. It is just the logo of the founding brothel.
Yeah. Very interesting. Kalina, you could actually see her like like she might be like holding some like food or something, like maybe like another strawberry or something, and like you could almost see like her grip tighten on it, like it almost like is gonna like almost smushes it, like as she's just like reading this one particular thing, and you just see like an eye twitching.
Yeah. Kane sort of like takes the strawberry gently from your hand and is like, okay, you're worked up.
She lets him. But yeah, she just sighs and says, "This man really is a piece of work. I figured you would be bad, but fuck."
Kane sort of like, he's like, yeah. He's like, I guess it's good that he's being taken out though, right?
Yes, but still, all those people.
Hopefully, after, well, he's gone, something can be done to help the people that were harmed by him. And anyone that, well, is in service of him.
Yes.
I doubt that he's doing it on his own. He probably has some subordinates, if you will.
Yes, of course. He would have been caught by now if this wasn't so insulated.
Yeah.
He definitely has money, power, and many other friends that are in on this. And we know he's on that planet, but how exactly do we even find him?
Well, I would warrant that maybe going to the start of everything, and he like points on the page to the part about the brothel he was born in and that he owns.
Might be a good idea, yes.
I imagine that the escorts there would probably know him more than some of the others, so
Yes,
it's possible that
does
they
seem
might
to
be able
have
to help
a-
us.
He does seem to have a favoritism towards that place. I mean, it is his profile picture on social media everywhere. Has some sort of fondness at least.
Kane doesn't say anything, but he just kind of nods.
Now we just need to figure out who exactly to, well, send in, I suppose. Preferably, I would vote for either Colbart or Spark, given they've a bit more on the ground experience when it comes to this. Not to mention, myself and a few others are pictured as more high profile. And she like puts up quotes with her fingers as she says this, and it would most likely drag more attention, and not the good kind.
He nods. but he puts a hand on your shoulder and he says, "I think you've done more than enough research for now. I'd like you to at least eat a proper meal and not just fruit and cheese."
But there's just so much to do.
We won't arrive at Vaughn for quite a while, so we have plenty of time.
I know. Alright. But only for a little bit.
He squints his eyes a little bit at you, like, motherfucker.
But yeah, and then she just like reluctantly goes and like, sits down to actually eat.
Yeah. How are the other members of the party doing? What they doing?
Anastasia is just fidgeting in the corner, eating his food.
Is it
Looking
a
at
pot of mac and cheese?
No,
Not
some
today.
lasagna and the Caesar salad
Caesar salad.
and the garlic bread.
Sorry, the fact that it's Caesar salad and we're planning an assassination.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, like.
God damn, was that on purpose?
Beautiful.
He was
I mean,
thinking
we
about
mentioned it
Caesar
before.
salad. It was just in his head.
Yeah.
He's like, Caesar salad sounds
Yeah, like,
really good right now.
Yeah, we mentioned it before, and I guess it was still in his brain, so.
Well, also, that's kind of my, like, if I'm gonna do lasagna and have other stuff, those two are probably my favorite things to, like, pair with.
I mean, yeah, lasagna is pretty good.
Caesar salad is the fucking bomb.
Yeah.
Pretend it's
Speaking of
Caesar, and you're
lasagna, I'll
overthrowing
be
your
right
own
back.
art.
Oh, goodness. But, yeah. Other than Anastasius having a fucking lasagna, an entire fucking casserole dish of
It is
lasagna to
Caesar,
himself.
right?
Yeah, the entire casserole dish of lasagna. It absolutely is. I guarantee it. How's everybody else doing? What they eating? How they feeling?
Spark is not at the table.
Where you at, Shoddy?
I would say whatever, like, room or whatever, like, how it was all separated up, they had left right after, like, grabbing a plate of food.
Aw.
Cobra wants to try that fruit that Spark likes from here.
Oh, yeah?
maybe he requested it specifically. It's like, hey, Venus, can you get me some of that fucking fruit? That good shit?
Some of that
Yeah.
knowledge fruit.
It's Venus brings you like a couple of them, and my god, they are so incredibly delicious. It's like nothing you've ever tasted before.
Hell yeah.
Good fruit, good fruit.
Good
Good
fruit.
fruit. Good fruit. This is all I'm eating from now on.
Venus laughs. She's like, I know they're good, but come on, there's lots of other good food to have.
Bulbach, you're gonna get cavities if you only eat those. It's all sugar.
Is she beer? It's all
Not to know, I
sugar.
did that when I was a kid, and I needed to get so many fillings. This is
Mm.
definitely not in reference to my sister who did the same thing, and the first time she ever went to the dentist, she had a total of 13 cavities.
My god.
Damn.
Mood.
Jesus.
Fucking mood,
Yeah,
actually.
like she loved fruit as a kid. Like she loved it, and like she'd
Honestly,
always eat.
fucking me core.
Like she'd always eat so much of it, and like the first time she ever went to the dentist, poor little baby had so many cavities.
I mean,
Did they need to be filled, or were they
I
surface
don't-
levels? and they could
Honestly,
do a
I
thing?
don't know. I just know that there were I might actually ask my sister
yeah.
after this. I might actually text her real quick.
I actually learned fairly recently that because cavities are caused by like a bacteria, if you don't have that bacteria, you don't get cavities.
So fucking
That's really
weird.
Some
fucking
people
funny.
don't have that bacteria, so they never get cavities.
Some people are just built different, I fucking guess. God damn.
If they do like eat, if they do like, for example, kiss someone that has that bacteria, they can get it. So
Oh, that sucks.
yeah,
Celibacy. Sorry.
Oh gosh.
What's Tay Guy up to? On God.
What is Segak up to, on God? I don't know.
Getting my meds, guys.
Aww.
I just
Sorry,
had to
my
quick
dad-
grab my meds.
Is Tegak eaten?
Yeah, she's. I think she's having. She's just chilling and eating and maybe like
Brooding.
playing with probably with, like a kitchen knife.
A steak knife.
Yeah, she's probably just like. She's just probably just aimlessly stabbing some fucking potatoes or some shit. I don't know.
Tegak
need to
core,
take my
Tegak
meds.
core.
She formed the mashed potatoes into the shape of a guy, and now she's methodically stabbing it.
Clement is like sipping a glass of wine, looking at her worriedly, like, girl, what the fuck?
Now I'm really tempted to do this and just see how people react. Like, I get my mashed potatoes. I form them into a shape of like a guy. I then methodically start chopping off each and every one of his limbs.
I think people will be worried about you, Girl Pop.
I
Yeah, I know.
I think you're gonna get sent back to the inpatient.
Damn.
They're gonna be like, girl, do we need to talk? Are we okay? We good? Only I'm allowed to
My
joke
sister
with her about that
responded
shit, man.
to the question. She just had all those teeth filled
Ah,
Oh,
when she was a kid. Yeah, filled. I never had a root canal or anything like that. Had my wisdom teeth taken out, but no cavities. And then she immediately just asked me, "Do you have a cavity?"
do you have a cavity, girl? Like, no, we're talking about teeth. You know, normal shit to talk about
it
during.
would be incredibly stupid and a waste of fucking money to get those filled if those are for baby teeth. Sorry, you know what? I'm gonna shut up now.
No, you're good. It's
No,
okay.
you're really valid though. It would be stupid, kind of, a waste of money. But yeah, you guys are kind of in the middle of dinner when you hear the door opening, and Juan comes in to the penthouse, and he's kind of like, his posture just reads as he's fucking tired of today. He's so done.
Oh, buddy.
He's done with today, and he's over it. And he's like grumbling to himself angrily. And it's like echoing through his mask.
Oh.
But like not enough to where you can hear the actual words that he's saying, but just like angry, echoing grumbling. And yeah. He like briefly greets you guys. And, you know, it's like, hello, how are you guys enjoying the penthouse? Everything up to your standards? Yada yada.
Yes, it is
way more than
quite
my
nice.
standard.
real as fuck. But he's like, that's good, that's good. Sadly, I don't intend to be very social this evening, so I will see you all in the morning.
Of course.
And then he just pretty much immediately heads off to his room. And yeah, that's where he stays for the rest of the evening. So I know you said that Spark be off somewhere, but where is Spark?
In like probably the room, probably, or
Yeah.
I would assume that they would have a room in the penthouse. So they're just having girl dinner in there.
Girl
Oh.
dinner, girl dinner, girl dinner. Yeah, girl dinner. Freya eventually comes in and like Freya had stolen one of the lovely apples that Colbart requested and is carrying it like in their like by the stem in their mouth to you. They're like on all fours and they jump up onto the bed and plop it in your lap.
Spark just kind of just like laughs a little bit, but then just hands it back to Freya and says that they're not really hungry.
Freya like tilts their head. It's like, oh, okay. I'll leave it over here, and they put it on your nightstand. They're like, in case you wake up in the middle of the night and you're hungry, midnight snack.
Yeah. Spark gives Freya head pats. They kind of look slightly worried about the whole situation.
Freya kind of like curls up like a little dog, laying their head kind of like on your leg. And they're like, do you want to talk about it? You look kind of worried.
Just that someone might get hurt.
Freya like nods as best they can. And they're like, I understand. All this kind of sounds scary.
And they just kind of sigh and say that there was a period of time where they were essentially just by themselves in the middle of a fuck all city before they met the clown crew. So they're
Aw.
like, this is shit I've actually seen before and I don't like it.
Freya like looks up at you and is like, don't worry. I'll make sure that nobody leaves you behind. I'll put a dog tracker on you if I have to. And then they like make a face and they're like, no, that's silly. Or is it? I don't know. All I'm saying is we're gonna make sure that you don't get lost, that nobody gets lost, and that everybody's gonna be okay. It's all gonna be good. And
Just kind of
they smile.
at them. And they're like, I do have the bells though. Makes it pretty hard for me to get lost.
Ooh. We just gotta put some more bells on you. How do you feel about jingle bells on your feet?
I mean, I kind of did in my old fit, so I wouldn't mind.
Yay! And then Freya like is like flopped over on their back with their head like in your lap now. And they're like, okay, so what if you have the little bows with the bells on them on your earrings? So what if you put bows with bells on the heels on the back of your shoes? like spurs.
I guess.
And they're like gesturing silly. They're gesturing wildly with their little hands.
Spark's like, that's a good idea, actually. I have to get back on the ship, but I'll do that when we go in the morning.
They're like fluttering their little antennas, very happy that you thought their idea was good. They're like, yay! But if nobody else has any little roleplay moments for this evening, we will flip over to the next morning.
I just have that video on repeat now, so
On God. On Jaw. So
On job. I'm sorry.
so the morning comes and who is the first awake? Probably Tagok?
It's always Tagok.
Yeah,
she-
Clement and Tagok are
Probably.
the first awake. And then Kane wakes up shortly thereafter, and you know, it's just like the early risers are out in the main living area of the penthouse, just chilling, drinking coffee. And you see Venus come out, and her snakes are all like sleepy
Aww.
Cute.
and like rubbing against her face and against each other to sort of like, you know, it's like wakey uppies.
Wakey, wakey.
And like you could see that she didn't take all her makeup off as well as she thought she did last night. So like there's fucking eyeliner smeared on her face and mascara. And she's like, ugh. And she's sort of
If Cobart's up, she's gonna wet a rag for her.
yeah. she takes it and she's like, thank you, Colbert. And like rubs her face. And you see that like this as she's like wiping her face, the snakes are like rubbing their faces on it as well.
Oh.
That's so cute.
One of the snakes like goes like stretches out to you, Colbart, and like gets right in front of your nose and like flicks its tongue out at you and tickles your nose. And you hear Venus sort of grumble from behind the rag, hey, don't taste him.
Hey, don't taste him.
Her snakes are very naughty. Naughty, naughty babies.
Nutty, nutty.
But yeah. A little bit after Venus wakes up, Juan comes out and he's in like, you know, the widow like robe
Yup,
type shit.
yup.
He's got a widow ass robe on. Not like
my
feathers and everything,
God.
but like a long floaty like dressing gown, basically.
Gosh.
He's a little bit dramatic, perhaps. Aw, lamb. It's
Yes.
a cute lamb video.
Yes.
Tagok being, you know, Tagok. Just to say that. Just kind of like looks at the outfit. It's just like, no one's died yet.
Oh my god, Tagok.
It's like, save it for later.
Probably seen Kalina wear that so many times.
Oh my god. She's like having fucking flashbacks too. when Kalita got broken up with.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
No plot twist, Kalina walks out and she's wearing the exact same thing.
Like actually that would be hilarious, please.
Yeah, Kalina, I think at this time, like, she starts to walk out, and she looks very tired, and...
A similar dressing gown, but in purple instead of black.
Yeah, yup.
And she's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Kane immediately starts laughing.
And Kalina's
It's
just like,
so hard that he's crying.
What's you laughing at?
He points at Juan. Juan has almost like the exact same like style of like robe on, but it's in black instead of purple.
Kalina, like, she probably doesn't have her glasses on just yet, so she's just squinting. And she's just like, what?
Nyoka hands you your glasses.
She puts them on and she says, oh my stars.
Juan like finally turns around like from where he was making his coffee, and he like pauses as he looks at you and he's like, okay. Okay. I see why the laughter now.
That's hilarious. Oh my god. Add that to the commission list, please.
Oh jeez. But yeah, it seems that equally dramatic. And Tagak's just like, oh my god, they're twinning.
She's too tired for this bullshit.
Yeah.
Venus
Virgo,
finally notices you.
just give her a fucking list of names, and then she'll have a good day.
Yeah. Venus finally notices you, Kalina, and she like looks you up and down and she's like, nice robe.
Thank you. Once I'm wearing it when I feel nice, because usually when I wear this, I feel like garbage. And she just flops on the couch.
You see that Venus makes like a cheeky little face to Juan, and he like glares at her slightly. It might be that that is also a similar reason. He's also wearing his robe to feel nice. But yeah, Kalina, she's probably just sprawled out on the couch now, just like you know, like probably on her side. The nightgown is probably like all like billowed out, like dramatic. It looks dramatic. The drama.
Yeah.
The drama. Yeah.
She looks good though. She looks good. Even if she just did roll out of bed.
She's got that effortless look.
Exactly.
Most everybody is up by now. The only person that has not woken up, surprisingly, is Spark.
Kalina, she, like, after she's more awake and she's probably had some, like, tea or something, something to wake her up, she just makes a comment on, has Spock woken up yet?
A couple people sort of shrug or shake their heads. You do notice that Tagok has disappeared from the main room.
Kalina says, Tagok is probably going to check on them.
Clement just sort of nods, just like, yeah, that's probably what happened. So, Tagok, you're going and checking on Spark.
Yep. So, Tagok's just, you know, she's walking around. She finds the room. And she doesn't even bother, like, being nice or patient about it. She just really, really loudly knocks. And she's like, you alright?
You don't hear anything, but eventually you hear little feet patters, and Spark opens the door. They look fucking miserable.
Oh shit, you're not good.
It looks like they did not sleep at all.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Tegak just kind of looks, gestures back into their room and just goes, have a seat.
I think I'm good, actually. And then they're gonna slip past Tagok.
I'm gonna block them.
Could I do... what check would that be? Sleight of hand to move past? Or stealth?
It could either be dexterity to slip past or strength to brute force your way past.
I'm going to dex my way out.
Of course they're gonna dex their way out. Do I have to strength respond?
Yes.
Yeah.
Either way, Tagok is responding with strength.
Oh.
I got a 15.
Yeah, I got a total of 10. Let me see, do I have anything that can... Recognizing blast, repelling blast... No, that's not what I'm looking for. Where's the thing? What's that? Hostile HP, rerolling, saving throw, you fail. Let's prolong rest.
If you had that grappling thing, I would say that you could grapple.
No, I don't have grapple yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, so she's gonna try to block you from leaving the room. She's trying to have a fucking conversation, damn it. And then you're like, no. Swoop. Bye.
Tagok's just like, I'm too tired for this shit, man. I'm too tired for this shit. Ah.
But once they leave, Tagok at least is gonna, like, peek into the room. She's not gonna walk into it. She's just gonna peek in and see if there's, like, you know, something mysteriously laying out or something noticeable.
Probably nothing in particular. I mean, their sketchbook's probably there, but I don't know if you consider that out of the ordinary.
Yeah. She's just gonna sigh. Lace her up. Then she's gonna head back.
Yeah. You guys see Spark shambling out of their room and then Tagok following not too terribly far behind. Spark kinda looks like shit. They look like they haven't slept at all.
Kalina looks at Bark and asks, Bark, are you alright? You look like you haven't slept at all.
Whoa, what you talk about? I slept great.
Kalina
They want that.
Kalina just gives a look. Like, you know, just like, come on.
Everybody knows you're not okay, bestie. It's okay to be not okay. Are you good? Yeah, it's okay to not be good. With that fucking VeggieTales thing. You know the one?
Yeah. They just give Kalina a thumbs up as they go get coffee.
looks at everyone else and she looks worried.
May I roll it insight, please?
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't VeggieTales, it was M&M's.
I knew what you were referencing.
I just remembered round thing and was like vegetable. But it's not. It's the fucking
What'd you get,
red
Ken?
and yellow M&M.
I got a 10.
I'm gonna say that you're a little too tired to know for sure. I fucking found it. I found it. This is everybody to Spark.
Oh, yeah.
You good? No, baby, you not good. It's okay to not be good.
Oh. Oh, boy.
But yeah. Currently, you know, everybody's big chillin' in the penthouse. You know, as you do.
Yeah.
And Venus is like waking up and she knows she has to do like a debrief for the morning. She's like, ugh. I hate being the talker. Juan doesn't do talking in the early morning. He is not a morning person at all.
Oh, jeez.
I want to note that Han has probably been awake for about an hour and a half before he actually came out of his room, but his morning routine is so extensive to deal with all of like his scars.
Yeah.
He has burn scars basically over his entire body that he has to like methodically take care of every fucking morning and evening.
Yeah. Poor dude.
Or else he's gonna get dry and open up new wounds. So, yeah. Venus is just like, okay, guys, everybody got their coffee, tea, whatever the fuck.
Kalina nods and holds up her tea.
Cover eating, receiving another fruit.
Fruit.
Fuck yeah.
Anastasia suggests he goes to give a thumbs up. Max his head onto the table for like 2 seconds.
Good.
Gets it up again and gives it the thumb up. So
She just sort of like looks at you. She's like, okay, King, whatever. Okay, King, slay. And she's like, alright, debriefing time. We're gonna be heading back to the ship today. And we're gonna be going rather quick to, Vaughn. Usually we wouldn't, push the ship this fast, but we don't know how long Solaria's going to be there. He tends to bounce around quite a bit. Probably because he doesn't want anybody catching him. But we are going to be arriving there sometime tomorrow evening-ish. So, more or less in about... And she, like, counts it. She's like, 30 to 40 hours. Ish. I don't know. I can't fucking count, man. It's too early in the morning for me to do math. And she, like, rubs her face again.
Oh. Kalina just nods and takes a long sip of her tea.
But yeah, sometime tomorrow evening, we're gonna be arriving at Vaughn. Make sure to be well rested. Probably take a nap during the day, because, nighttime is when this planet truly comes alive, and we are going to need everybody on deck in the evening, more or less.
Very well. Gives us more time to formulate a plan.
Venus nods and she's like, I'll send you guys any information if Juan gets to, if Juan comes up with anything for his part of the plan, so that you guys can sort of build off of that. You know? And she's like, oh gosh, alright, I guess we should, back up our stuff that we have here, which is not a lot, and, get headed back to the ship. Gotta check out and everything. And Venus starts, like, shuffling towards her room, while, like, throwing back her mug. Like,
Yeah.
a fucking shot.
Boy. We love Venus. We all love her.
She's so relatable. Yeah, so after that, you guys sort of like gather up all your shit, what little shit you had here at the penthouse, and carry your happy asses back to the ship. And and in like the sector that you guys are staying in the ship, you see Verbena in like the communal lounge area, and she's like, you guys took your sweet fucking time. What was that all about? She is just chilling. She's not looking very goddess like, as she is just being lazy on the couch currently.
Yeah. Kalina just says, well, there's some new plans that have arisen.
Oh, fun. She says it kind of sarcastically. Like, she knows that it's probably not fun.
Yeah.
Verbena knows that you guys are, like, doing stuff for Alistair, kind of. So, she knows Alistair's whole deal, and that he's a shithead. And maybe there are some things that if you are confused about some stuff, you can ask her.
Can Spark asks if she knows about this planet at all?
So you ask her about Von B86, and she almost drops her book on her face. And she kind of like fumbles to get up, and you can see that her face is like flushed a little bit, like she's embarrassed. And And she's like, what? Vaughn?
Spark has a shit-eating grin, and they just kind of tilt their head and go, "I see." That's all I needed to know. And then they walk off.
We love Spark. It's like my work here is done.
You hear her kind of just like, and grumble into her face. She's
Damn,
like,
Grandma
oh
got the
no.
freaking shade. Oh my god.
Yeah. You're right, Tangok.
No game. No game.
I thought it said game, actually. So actually, Tangok, you're incorrect. You are you are very incorrect, actually.
I could be fucking awful if I really wanted to.
You could talk to her, but she might want to not do it in the lounge.
Should I ask the question, guy?
Don't. You might get smited.
So Tagok, the thing Spark asks is like, what do you know about Vaughn, which is the planet, the red light planet, as it's called.
Right.
And Verbena immediately got embarrassed and dropped her book on her face.
Right. It's an embarrassing planet that exists in the Empire.
And Spark's like, that's all I need to know. Heart. If you want to, you can brainwave ask her.
I'm going to brainwave ask her and be like, actually, one more thing. Were you buying or selling?
She doesn't answer you immediately, but you hear her stand up behind you.
Look, man, if they go out, it's gonna be really funny.
You're asking your grandma that, by the way.
It's not specifically that it's because it sparked grandma. I'm just like, goddess that created a world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Verbena like comes over to you and she like kneels down in front of you and she's like, okay, so do you really want to like know about this?
Mark says yeah.
She sighs a little bit. She's like, oh god, this kid's fucking crazy. And
Yeah, confirmed. I am indeed crazy. That's been established.
yeah.
Yes, that is what they were asking. They were asking if she
Yeah.
the hooker or the person who bought the hooker.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Not
she's
your ace.
she was kind of a bratty royal, so it's not out of the question. But she's like, okay, I'm not going to talk about it in the communal room. So come with me. And she gently holds out her hand for you to take.
Mark just salutes the rest of the group as they walk off.
Yeah. You guys just see Verbena, who's kind of sweating. She's sweating. Homegirl is tweaking out a little bit as she like walks Spark to probably her room to sit down and have this talk with them about
Kalina,
the circumstances.
yeah, Kalina, she just sees this happen and just kind of looks up at Kane. Because this is his mom.
I'm actually just stupid. Real. That is Spark.
Kane mumbles something about asking his father. That is all you get from that, like, little grumbling of him. He's got something to ask his dad when they get back.
And Kalina, like, she blinks and just snaps her head to look at him.
looks so fucking like, I'm so curious, but I don't want to know. But I have to know, you know?
Elena she doesn't know what else to do, so she just kind of pats his forearm.
Grandma was a wild one, you know?
Oh God.
Grandma was a wild one. So Spark, Rabina takes you to like her room, and she sits you down on the end of the bed. And she's like, okay, so I'm assuming that because you asked about Vaughn and you had that cheeky little grin of yours on your face, that you know exactly what that planet is.
Oh yes, 100%. This is fucking hilarious.
She makes a stern face at you like, oh, please do not laugh at me right now. I'm going through it, girl.
Girl, gender neutral.
Girl, gender neutral. Yeah, but she's like, okay, so before I get into this, I'm gonna need you to not judge me. And she points at you.
Spark puts both their hands up in like the surrender and be like, look, I've seen some shit, don't worry about it.
But I will just say that it is extremely common for royals to be doing this kind of activity and engage in these things. So it was very normalized for me, and I didn't really see anything wrong with it. At the time, that was a very, very long time ago. And she's like nervous.
Okay.
She says, on Vaughn, I did use the escorts.
Shit, man, good for you.
Both men and women.
Shit, man, good for you.
She's very flustered. She's like, and she says, She looks like she wants to say something, and her eye kind of like twitches a little bit as she's like glancing around. And
Put their hands together and just goes, I feel like there's something else, which is the true reason that you were embarrassed.
her breath is kind of shaky when she exhales, and she's like, okay, now I need you to never speak of this part ever.
They do the zip lips and then throw away the key.
So in on Vaughn there is a what some people would call the, and she does air quotes, amateurs district, where people can pay a small fee to temporarily be and she like sort of blanks out as she's trying to think of how to describe this to you. And she leans down and she like closes her eyes. She doesn't even want to look at you. And she's like, do you know what a glory hole is?
Makes a fucking punch noise.
Oh my god!
Oh, Grandma, you got gay. This is what it.
And she holds up her hand. She's like, I didn't pay to be one, but I frequented the establishment. It was a way for people who usually never had sexual encounters to anonymously engage in such acts. Jane, what the fucking Joe Biden? Not the Joe Biden. It's so hot in here, man. I don't know if I'm embarrassed or if it's just hot because it's summer, man. What the fuck? I'm at.
Oh, this is gonna be a good night.
I'm gonna krill myself, man. This is the end.
No.
It's just like, hey, Kalina, hey, Kalina, hey, Kalina, hey, Kalina.
Don't! Not now. I think Kalina would die.
Kalina, she hears this in her brain and she's just like, oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
All I'm gonna say is Grandma got fucking game.
What?
Kalina, she just she's probably still patting Kane's forearm, but then she stops and almost starts gripping it. And she's just staring off.
He looks at you like, oh no, what is it? Just fear.
Kalina doesn't say anything, she just...
They look at each other, fear in their eyes.
Because the awful...
The awful deep lore. Verbena, goes on, and she tells you that, not only did she frequent it, but she went with Zephyrus many times.
Good for you. I didn't realize Grandpa got game too.
So, you kind of get from this that they would, double team.
Okay, so interesting. I'm not gonna ask about the logistics of that.
Listen, both of them are hermaphroditic.
Good for them.
So,
Good for them.
Verbena's got the biggest, the biggest.
Oh my god!
Foxy and I have done the measurements and the logistics on that.
Not the calculations.
Yes, the calculations.
Not the calculations.
Yes, the calculations.
No!
Can Spark do an insight check to see if there's anything that she's leaving out?
You get the feeling that she's telling mostly the truth, and but you do get the feeling that she is hiding something.
Man. And then Spark's just like, man, you already have all of it on the table. Come on, spill it. God's honor, I won't say anything.
She kind of makes this face, and she's like, oh. It's like she doesn't even actually want to say it out loud. And she leans in, she's like, okay, this one isn't about me. But, it's about Juan.
Spark's just like, oh, what?
And she says, I don't know the context of why he was there at the amateurs section, but one time Zephyrus and I saw him coming out about the same time we did.
Spark has put two and two together about the context that they were given from Venus. And they just go, Interesting.
And then she kind of shrugs her shoulders, and she's like, I don't even know where he was, though. The entire place was empty except for one person.
Oh, come on. Verbena.
But he came out of a different... She makes a face of, denial realization. She's like, but he came out of a different entrance!
Verbena, I'm assuming that the places are connected.
She stands up and she's like, Spark, darling, I love you, but I need a moment. Can you please leave my room?
Yeah, totally. I need a shot. Please.
Pretty much as soon as she closes the door, you can hear her voice muffled with a pillow screaming. Like, absolutely voice-breaking screaming muffled through a pillow.
Everybody gets a message in the Red Grape Shop saying, shit's convoluted. This is what you get.
Kalina doesn't respond. She's just... I feel like she's just kind of like latched herself onto Kate at this point.
I imagine that all of this happens, like, under a minute. Under a minute.
Yeah. This is extremely convoluted. I believe I know the horrors now.
The horrors. Jade, do you want the abridged version?
Okay, she doesn't want to know.
Okay. We won't tell you, girl. It's okay.
It just... Okay, it's... I'm gonna say this in the best way that I can. You're saying words, and I understand some of the words,
But it's
the
not
way
combining.
You're putting them together, I don't understand. And I don't think this is a subject that I want to understand.
Valid.
And, like, I feel stupid for not understanding. But also, I feel like this is something that I shouldn't know. You know?
Shield your eyes
Yeah.
from the horrors, baby girl.
You know?
Yeah.
Like... So I'm just...
It's okay.
Let me just say this without actually making anything NSFW about the statement. There were 3 people. Until this moment, Verbena never realized that Juan was the 3rd.
Oh, fuck.
And I get that, but I don't know what you guys are actually talking about.
And that's okay. You don't
Okay.
need to.
The only part about this that is plot relevant is that it is related to what Alistair did to Juan.
Okay,
that.
cool.
That's all you need to know.
Yes.
Fantastic. I'm just gonna,
That's all you need
I'm just
to
gonna
know.
mute. I'm just gonna be here.
You're okay, girl.
Eat your ice cream. Eat something.
Eat your ice cream. You're good, girl. Don't worry about it.
It's some crazy
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, shit's fucked.
You know what? It's all right, Jade.
You don't need to know.
To explain to you how that would work,
No.
we'd have to get into it, and I don't want to. I don't think you want to either, girl.
I don't think any of us want to.
Only I know the truth. Because I see it in my brain, the horrors.
You're not stupid. I just know about this because Arrow spilled it to me a couple months ago.
Yeah, because it is relevant.
I knew about it because he brought it up as part of, like, explaining some plot to me. That's why I knew to ask. That's it.
Yeah.
And I think he was counting on me to ask.
Yeah, I was, actually.
Oh my god!
I knew you were gonna ask. I always know.
I would just go with 2 A's on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I actually remembered that with my memory loss stuff, but that...
You were just like, oh wait, this is, oh. Oh no. But, yeah.
Yeah, she's latched herself onto Kane to try and cope with the horrors.
The horrors. Spark, you come back to the group, in the like the people that are in the main lounge area, and you see Kalina just fucking white knuckle gripping Kane's arm.
Go break his arm.
Kalina, she doesn't say anything.
The 1,000-yard stare, the stare of the goat. Kane also has this fucking like dead stare.
Spark just goes, anyway, if I understand their backstory 100%, this is just awful. And then Spark just walks over to a place that has alcohol.
Oh no. It goes to the bar immediately. The Freya's just like, beans. Follows.
That should
Oh,
be a
beans.
reaction, like an emoji that we have here in the Discord. Freya saying, "Aw, beans."
Or just a picture of Freya and then like a little thought bubble that just says a can of beans.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kalina, she just says, "I think I need to go lie down." And she just kind of slowly lets go of Kane's arm and just starts walking out of the room and to her room.
Yeah. Kane, like, puts his hand on your shoulder as you're about to leave, and he's like, if it's okay with you, I'm gonna go with Spark and drink.
Kalina just looks up and nods, and she just says, "Just don't overdo it. Yeah, it's still quite early."
I'll try.
And Kalina, she does smile and gives him a little pat on the arm before heading off.
Yeah. Nyoka just fucking looks at you, Tagok, and is like, I'm so confused. Are you confused? Because I'm really fucking confused. I've been half paying attention this whole time. Tagok shrugs. He's like, oh, fucking know, man.
Not paid enough.
Not paid enough to care.
Me-core.
It's not on my fucking job description, main. Yeah. But, Spark, Kane meets up with you, and he's like, I'm going drinking with you.
Spark just nods and goes, I shouldn't have asked.
You think?
No, like, it may, and they just look at the bartender and go, can I just have your strongest, please?
And Kane goes, same for me. The bartender gives you like the both of you a sympathetic look. She's like, man, y'all have been through it, huh?
Spark just says, we've been subjected to the horrors.
Ooh. But yeah. If you want, of course, Kane is available for you to dump on.
Spark is just like, would you like to know the horrors? There's only a specific part that's really bad that I feel like you need to know before we go and beat the shit out of this guy.
He takes a really long drink, like almost half the fucking glass, and he's like, okay, I think I'm ready.
Okay, and then if Freya is there, they are going to cover Freya's ears.
Freya is like sitting next to you, but not really paying attention because they're eating French fries.
Okay, they're like, okay, focus on your French fries. and sing a little song, and then they turn back over to Kane and whisper, "So you know how when Venus started talking about the whole thing with Juan and the planet?
Mm-hmm.
Your parents were involved with that accidentally. He just found out because I told her 2 + 2 week before.
He doesn't say anything. He has this fucking glazed over look, and he just brings the glass up to his mouth and fucking downs the rest of it and
Oh
places
my
it
God.
very gently on the bar.
And then Spark adds on, you do, and I'm assuming you know the history of Juan and Verbena?
Yeah. I know enough.
Yeah.
She doesn't really like him all that much. Are you saying that they... Oh.
Yeah.
And my dad... Oh. And he's got, like, his hands on his fucking head. Like, oh. Oh.
Yeah. The horrors.
The horrors.
This is like a million times worse than when I realized that my mom was an absolute fucking liar. I hate it here. Should I tell the others?
He like puts his hand on your shoulder and he's like, I think maybe you should talk with Juan first. I mean,
Good idea. Oh.
you don't really know exactly how he feels about the whole situation. And maybe there's something else that, you know, my mom didn't know about the situation that would be very important to know.
I feel like she didn't know nothing at all, though. So, like,
Yeah.
I feel like she didn't do it out of maliciousness. Considering her reaction when she realized 2 + 2 = 4.
What was her reaction, if I may
She
ask?
told me to leave and then screamed into her pillow.
I've never seen her do that before. So yeah. I think she's going through it.
I kind of feel bad.
It's not your fault. And he kind of like grabs you by your shoulders. It's like, it's not your fault. I mean, she was liable to find out eventually, but I think
but
she
coming from
just...
their own grandkid,
Yeah, I
you know,
think
I
that
feel
might be the
bad.
part. And he looks at you like sympathetically, like, yeah, I think it might be the part that their fucking grandkid told him about it.
I'm cursed with knowledge sometimes. I don't understand it.
The
Doesn't
curse.
help that I already got personal beef with all this shit.
Personal beef?
Yeah, I mean, like, before the whole clown thing, I did run away. There was a couple months where I just didn't have anything to do. Did see some of this crap happen in real time.
Oh.
Luckily, nothing ever happened to me.
He, like, nods understandingly. Just like, oh, buddy. Cry.
They just kind of shrug and go, I should probably go tell Juan. They're like, hey, buddy, I have been subjected to the horrors and I'm now aware and I'm so sorry.
Yeah. He sort of, like, helps you psych yourself up. Like, gives you some little pats on the cheeks. Like, alright, you got this.
Yeah, they kind of, like, crack their knuckles, give Freya a head pat, and go, alright, I got this.
And he, like, sort of raises his glass a little bit. He's like, don't worry, I'll take care of Freya.
Thanks. And they're they're gonna DM Juan and be like, "Hey, buddy, I need to talk to you. It's not a good talk."
He's like, oh lord, what is it?
I have been subjected to some horrors.
He sends a question mark and is like, okay, meet me at, where we usually meet for meetings.
We're gonna meet them there. It's just, I'm sorry. I'm laughing because this situation's actually insane.
Perhaps a little.
Yeah,
They're
just
just
a
like,
bit.
when they see Juan, they're like, all right, so all I'm gonna say is I told Verbena 2 plus 2 equals 4 in the situation I'm on. That's all I got.
He looks a little fucking confused. Like, he doesn't know exactly what you're talking about right now.
You know, the thing that happened a really long time ago. With Verbena and Zephyrus and the amateur thing.
His face goes from confusion to like immediate, like his face drops
Yeah.
into like horror.
I was fucking around originally. And now I've been subjected to the horrors.
And he says, you talked to Verbena?
Yeah. I was making a joke. I was asking her if she ever heard of the planet, and she had a response, and I was like, haha, buddy. And then I asked her if she was selling or buying, and then she was like, do you really want to know? And of course, my hubris is that I'm very curious, so I said, yeah. And yeah, she told me.
He looks a little nervous and he says, what exactly did she say?
I'm gonna just, I guess they explain it, and then add on to the fact that, I told her 2 plus 2 equals 4, and that it was you. Probably. There was nobody else there.
He has like his lips pursed and he's like, okay. And then he like sits down in the chair, like sort of rests his hand on his palm, like his head on his palm, props his head up.
Do you want me to leave?
And he's like, no, you're okay. I
think the worst part is that I'm related to her.
He sort of like makes a, yeah.
And I guess they ask if there's like anything with the story that doesn't line up, I guess, or like things that they should know.
He looks at you and he's like, you've been drinking, which is fair. Have a seat.
Oh no.
Spark's like, yeah, I have. They just sit down.
and he says, the main thing you need to know is I wasn't there because I wanted to be.
I kind of gathered that from what Venus said.
He sort of like smiles at you a little bit, but it's like a forced one, and he says, you are very insightful. It's just like, good job on figuring that out. Yay. Cries.
Again, it's a 2 plus 2 situation. They're just like, this is awful. I just wanted to just blow up the planet, actually. Is that possible? Are we allowed to do that?
I mean, really, the only person that can decide that is the Emperor. Because it is technically under the Empire.
And the Emperor is in a declining state, and therefore can't do
Yes,
that. Okay.
he
Assuming
nods.
Alistair does not have the ability to do that, because if he would have done it by now.
As if he wanted to. And
Mark just makes a face. That man gets worse by the second.
he nods. And says, it was my father's fault I was there.
Yeah.
I'm sure you suspected it, but yes.
Well, I mean, I just assumed that, like, he'd probably want to blow it up because, you know, the guy in charge is such a dickwad. But, okay, yeah. Alright. Well, we are going to dismantle this entire thing.
He nods. And is just like trying to think of anything else to say. He's just like, You have anything else you're gonna ask him or talk to him about?
Probably not. Just being like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. He tells you that it's okay, that was a long time ago. But, like, you know, he's not okay.
Yeah.
Definitely not okay about it.
Spark just says that if he ever wants to talk about it, that they're available.
Juan nods and leans forward to give Spark a little hug and pat them on the back.
We're gonna hang this guy by his balls.
Yes, we are.
We're gonna hang him by his balls!
Spark just sends a message to the group chat being like, we are dismantling this entire planet brick by brick if we have to.
I'm all in for that.
Amen.
Count me in. Tagok.
Again, I'm
Yes,
voting for the
voting
Blood
for
Eagle.
the Bloody Eagle.
Good idea.
It wouldn't be totally out of line for a magmatic noble to absolutely massacre somebody.
Yeah.
They have a very fight-based culture. Very, very
Yeah, I know what
combat.
it is.
Torture lesson.
Yay! A lesson on torture. Yeah. So currently, that's where y'all are at.
Yes.
If the group wants to meet up and y'all need to discuss anything, possibly brainstorm,
Yeah.
that is where we'll kind of like cap things. Like y'all have a little, you know,
Yeah.
murder brainstorm.
Yeah. I'm guessing we probably just kind of like hang out for a bit before we like get our bearings together after what the fuck just happened.
Yeah.
Or at least Kalina is. She's just gonna fucking lay down.
Work
Oh,
out that thousand yard stare.
Everybody's just kind of coping in their room right now.
Yep. Well, Anastasia is off in the Outing Bay area, where like he's been working on his robot,
yeah, how's that
and
going?
a partly part of me wants to say like it's damn near complete. Maybe like one, two more components before the prototype is like really truly ready to test on a person in combat. But also, I kind of want to roll.
I mean, if you want to, King, roll.
What the fuck would I even roll?
I would just say maybe roll a d20.
I mean, yes. It's
No
obviously
bonus. No bonuses, just roll a d20.
concept. I roll 2d20. One is for an intelligence check. One is for a dexterity check to see him like getting into like the small crevices.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I'm gonna do. Not counting that one because that was an unconsensual roll.
Unconsensual roll.
Fine. A 9 and an 8.
Alright, so I'd say that you're about like maybe 60% done with your robot. I'd say that that's a good sort of like happy middle grounds for that. So, yeah. The brainstorming. Y'all are doing
Gotta find the guy.
yeah. So, of course, you guys have like some locations of his different headquarters, if you will, his different bases of operation that he uses on the planet. One of them is actually a temple that is a front.
Oh, okay.
This one is like unlisted in the public eye, but it is a temple that if you, say the password to the right person, they will take you into like a subterranean brothel below the temple.
Just
Okay.
like his campaign. I'm not gonna finish it, but you know what I'm gonna say. The fucking ice cream shop. Oh god.
The ice cream shop.
Oh! Sorry. It took me a minute to register to say, huh? What? Just like, oh! Ice cream.
Ice cream!
Definitely just ice cream.
Yay!
Yeah. Not like that got blown to bits.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I assume that, I think Kalina's probably gonna call for, like, a meeting for everyone in, like, probably, like, a private meeting room of some sort, like, either, like, off of the common area that they're, like, you know, that they have, or whatever.
Yeah. There is a meeting room, and this is where, you know, that first meeting that y'all had when you got onto the ship happened.
Yeah. She needs to feel useful, dang it.
Yeah, so everybody who is there for the meeting arrives. Freya is being left out of the meeting
Aw.
because
Oh, right. Yeah, they're not going.
they're not
Oh my
going,
God.
first of all.
We're not
I
going
I
because of the
forgore.
horrors. Also the horrors.
The
like,
horrors.
Spark not gonna let them in.
Don't subject the baby.
I feel like when Spark walks in, they have
Another
alcohol in
drink.
their hand.
Another
Yeah.
drink.
Kalina, she just sighs and just says, Spock, if you could set that down somewhere, please.
Look, man, just give me this, okay?
One. That's
One.
it.
One.
Yeah. Right
Okay.
after this conversation, like 2 seconds after this, Kane walks in carrying 2 bottles of wine and a wine and like 2 wine glasses.
Spark just kind of just goes, eh? It's okay.
Kane sort of like raises the glasses, like, yep. Cheers.
I have to see that Spark's grape ring is off.
Oh boy.
They
They want to
put it
get
away.
drunk tonight. They need it.
They need it. They need to not remember the horrors.
Kane just places one of the glasses down in front of you, Kalina,
Aww.
and then fills his way beyond what is, you know, proper etiquette for filling a wine glass.
Real.
And Kalina's just like, Kane, dear, please. Please don't overdo it.
He's like, listen, I'm not Hoth, but I do have divine constitution.
And Kalina just sighs and just says, alright, alright. But I swear, you get too wasted.
What are you gonna do?
Kalina, like, she opens her mouth, but then she's just I don't know, but I'm gonna do something, and when I think of that... And she kind of, like, gets closer to his face and just, like, points up at him.
He allows one of his snakes to, like, fucking flick you with its tongue to interrupt you. Man.
It's just like, excuse me?
He looks like that cat with the knives pointed at him. That's his face right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Just teehee.
Yeah. And Kalina just sighs before bringing out all, like, her papers and information and stuff that she's, like, you know, drafted up.
Mm-hmm.
She says, alright. So, first plan of action, once we touch down, we need to figure out the exact location of... Sorry, what's his name again?
Hassan Siluria.
Yeah, Siluria, okay. Yeah, she's probably just gonna be referring him by his last name.
No respect. Just,
Yeah, no
Ye-
respect.
I will not refer to you by your first name. Fuck you.
But yeah, Kalina, she says we need to figure out first objective. We need to figure out the exact location of Saru. So, sorry.
Yeah.
Could you just type it somewhere, please?
Okay, give me a second.
It was a long day at work. I had to do some training and stuff for some other people, so I'm just like... I mean, it wasn't bad, it was just long. Yeah,
Yeah.
Siluria. Okay, I kept
Yeah.
wanting to say Zeruleus.
Yeah. I could tell.
Yeah.
By the way, if anybody recognizes that name, yes, that is the name of a Crucible Knight from Elden Ring.
God damn it.
I have
God
no
damn it, I'm
shame.
just looking.
I have no
Yeah.
shame.
Have shame.
But yeah, Kalina, she continues and says, of course, if we travel all at once, it would be too risky. We'd attract way too much attention. So I would advise us splitting all into groups of 2 or 3. So that way we aren't alone.
Spark
if-
kind of just looks at you really concerned but says nothing.
And Kalina, she looks over at Spark and says, of course, while making these groups, we will try and make them as, well, balanced as possible to assure that whoever is where will most likely be able to, be safe. Perhaps even up those numbers to groups of 3 or 4. We just don't want to attract too much attention to ourselves, but also not have too little of a group to where we might be a possible target because of it. If we're doing groups of 3 or 4, I would advise that myself, Kane, Nyoka, and Chatu stick together, given that's what we'd already done. And, sorry, who else is here? So we got Anastasius, we got Tagok. Yeah, Anastasius, Tagok, Kolbar, Spark,
Clement.
Clement.
And Freya's not going to be joining, so I believe that's it.
Yeah, and then we also got Juan.
Juan and Venus.
Yeah, Juan and Venus. Yeah, and then so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so 3 groups of like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. Yeah. Kalina, she's just kind of relaying this information. And she's just kind of like writing down like on like probably on like a bulletin board of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
The friggin' smart board. Y'all remember the smart board?
The smart board.
Oh
The
god,
smart
I hate
boards. God, I love those in school.
I drew so many anime characters on the smart boards.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, Kalina, she starts writing more down and says, I believe that, so we have you, Anastasius, we have Tagok, Kolbot, Clement, Spark, and then we're going to have Juan and Venus as well, so that makes 7. So we can have 2 groups of 4 and then 1 group of 3. So we're going to need to compensate to make sure that group of 3 is extra prepared. I would advise that Tagok would probably be on that team.
Maybe the group of 3 could be Juan, Venus, and whoever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Juan, Venus, and Tagok?
Maybe.
Or
I mean, I think those 2 would be pretty capable themselves.
Yeah.
That is true.
So maybe Takeoff is with the other group.
Very true. May also be why perhaps Spock should go with Juan Venus, given the fact that, well, you're essentially in a way, like a personal attack dog. And you're very charismatic, you know how to get what you want. It would definitely be very useful in terms of being able to help Juan find the exact location of where Siluria is.
Spark just kind of goes, "What I want is more wine," and then it looks over at Kane.
And Kalina just looks over at Kane and she just says, "Don't you dare give any attention." I would be very disappointed in you.
He puts his hand on his chest and he's like, the tragedy. And you see him, like, with his other hand, like, very slowly reaching for the bottle. And I guess Spark is, like, very slowly, like, if you don't move fast, she can't see you type shit.
Yeah.
Kalina, she's just like, nope, and goes over and grabs the bottle.
Oh, you know, fun. I've already experienced the horrors once today.
The horrors.
Kalina just sighs and she says, "What we need to do is make a plan. Because if this falls through, many of us could get hurt."
I'm not good at making plans.
Kalina
That's
just...
been established.
And that's why
Man, don't make me cast suggestion on you. Just hand it over.
No!
that's why we are making a plan together. Just need your input on this. Do you want to go with Juan and Venus?
Sure.
Alright. Juan, Venus, and Spark. Myself, Kane, Chatu, and Nyoka. And that would leave Tagok, Cobalt, Anastasius, and Clement. Does those groups sound good? Any questions? Comments? Concerns?
I think that's good.
Anastasius just shakes his head. No.
Ow, sorry, that was... I don't know if that picked up on the microphone, but I moved my arm weird and my elbow just cracked.
Ouchie.
Like I said, it's been a long day. It's been a
been a long-
long day. My joint.
Alright, old lady, alright.
I'm only 21.
I know. That's what my mom says whenever I complain about my joints. She's like, alright, grandma.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, she continues. Now, once we find an exact location on Siluria, and if we do want to exactly, well, disable the whole trafficking circle that he's got going on, we're going to need to figure out who else is amongst his ranks. And if we can either, well, you know, persuade, or if we might need to take care of anything else. We need to make sure that if the head of the snake, like as she says that, she just kind of pauses and she's just, sorry, Kane.
You see that his snake sort of like immediately recoiled when he said that. They're like scared.
I'm sorry.
And he like tries to reassure them. He's like, it's okay, she's Freudian slip.
Yeah, and she's just like, once the head of the beast has been taken out, hopefully the rest of it should crumble like a house of cards.
What if it's like a cockroach?
How do you mean?
Cockroaches can survive without their heads for like days. Do you know that cockroaches also keep their eggs on their back? little tube.
Well, Clement says, then we just need to crush the whole damn bug.
True. The question is,
We need
how?
we need more information to be able
Yes,
to do
and
that.
hmm,
Also, has there been any like records or archives or anything that of something similar that has been done? Because if we can see what a success looks like and what they did,
that is
we'll have a
true.
better chance.
Frame of reference.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. And
Any more information? That's
yes. Uh, can Kalina just do like a quick search on her tablet for anything?
Yeah. Search your tablet, girl.
Sorry.
Investigation check.
All right, investigation. All right, that one's pretty good. Total of 17.
Alright, so, with your search, you are able to find some smaller instances of, like, crime organizations being broken up. Usually what it takes is, taking out the dictatorial head and then incentivizing the goons, if you will, to come forward and sort of like turn away from the organization.
Yeah.
We should also probably have some sort of a sanctuary ship for the people who have been affected by the situation to get out.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That may be a bit more difficult to figure out, but it's not impossible.
Because, you know, if we want to go all scorched earth, there's going to be people that are going to get caught in the crossfire that don't deserve
Mhm.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then there's also the fact that more or less half of the planet, it's not like a half and half situation. It's mixed. It's marbled.
Yeah.
It's not like one entire hemisphere of the planet is temples, the other hemisphere is brothels. Nope, it's all mixed in. There are actual places of worship and holy places with, like, you know, holy texts and relics there that have just
Go
been
to the
like,
brothel and then you leave and go to church and confess your sins.
yeah, it
Got it.
basically, this planet is a metaphor for the fact that you cannot just go to church on Sundays and pray away all your sins while outside of the church you are still doing bad things.
Beautiful.
Makes wild gesture.
Yes.
The choich.
But yeah, Kalina, she kind of thinks for a moment and says, well, if we can figure out what exact places of worship are actually, well, one, not caught up in this corruption, and two, actually willing to let people in,
Yeah.
there could be decent places of sanctuary.
Have the churches provide sanctuary.
Sanctuary!
Exactly. You get me, girl.
Sanctuary!
It's a great movie.
The long-term solution is shifting the perception, the public perception of this planet that sex can be good, but forcing or imprisoning or trafficking people is bad.
Yeah.
We need to target that specific part.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely.
Because if people want to do that shit on their own free will, that's fine. But it's the whole trafficking part that needs to
Yeah.
be put under the spotlight and shown
Exactly.
how bad it is.
From what you are able to find out, a lot of the trafficking is legalized under the guise of contracts.
Oh boy.
So these people that become the escorts are forced to sign these contracts that legally bind them. And then they, you know, they are intimidated into renewing these contracts and to keep being a part of the, like, you know, the
What if
situation.
we can
Yeah.
advocate for a new law?
Yeah,
Where,
nuance.
like, contracts are still a thing, but they but there has to be a period after the contract where they're no longer in it. Like, I don't know, a couple years, and maybe not a couple years, but like a period of time where they cannot be under a contract.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are, that is a big red sign that they're being forced to do it.
Yeah. Term limits.
Term limits.
Term limits for sex workers. That is a gross simplification of what is attempting to be done here, but
Yeah.
for the people without reading comprehension.
We do not know how to do this, guys.
Yeah.
So we don't have. So this is a story.
Yes. We are
We're,
attempting to
we're not law
create a, you know, narrative driven by things that are true and in real life, but we are not, like, you know, we're not 100% experienced in all of the things that we are talking about. We try to be to the best of our abilities, and we try to shed light on things that we believe are important, but thumbs up. Yeah. So you guys kind of you know, you agree to probably talk with some other people later about the logistics of trying to get everything
Yeah.
more balanced in the favor of the workers.
Yeah. Because if we try to sell that sex workers and like the whole industry is bad, nobody's gonna take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be impossible. But if we could just change this one thing, then it'll just be a little better. And it'll be hopefully be a step towards more change.
Mm-hmm.
Wrote paper on this. Changing people's minds and shit.
Yeah.
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 Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Woo.
We're doing the brain. The
Right
brain.
now, what Colbar will say this, like right now we can just do the most immediate thing is, and yeah, the most immediate thing, which assassinate, um, whatever the fuck this is.
Celoria.
You know the guy. Yeah,
His name doesn't even matter.
it doesn't. It doesn't even matter. That's the most immediate thing we can do, and we can like try and maybe kind of advocate for change, and maybe we can do some long term stuff. Start it, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. So, sort of leaving with that, I'm gonna say that we're gonna end the session here tonight. Don't you awe me, girl. Crybaby. But we will hopefully be back next week with another session 92 where hopefully Tagok finally gets to participate in some murder.
Yes!
Yes.
Or at least be witness to some good murder. You know?
Yes. Murder time. Murder time. Murder time. Murder time.
And with that, we will end the stream here tonight. Good night, everybody. We will see you all next episode.